Hello Retail Ambassadors, Ryan coming to you again from the Big Rig Tour. Today we are chatting about Compex Electro Muscle Stimulation. Compex is a great tool for athletes that train on a regular basis and anyone that has muscle imbalances, which are actually quite a few athletes, if not all of us, and or experience nerve pain. To further demonstrate how the product works and a little bit about the science behind it, I'm going to link you to our recent product spotlight video. You should see a link pop up somewhere on the screen here. Most of our sales to date have been direct to consumer. As you can probably appreciate, there's a certain level of understanding with physiology that you need to have in order to sell Compex. You need to understand how the unit activates muscle fibers, or sorry, I should say motor neurons, which activate the muscle fibers, which are essentially the contraction you're looking for. The good news is for you is that we've got two core groups of customers that are already well up to speed, or most of them usually are, on what the technology is all about. Reason being, and I'll single them both out here, is they've used it in some form or another, or they've had a professional recommend it to them. So the first group are people that have gone to a sports therapy clinic on a semi-regular basis. These are people that have muscle imbalances, injuries, nerve pain. In all likelihood, they have experienced electromuscle stimulation in one form or another as part of their therapy. You know, they come away from these expensive sessions and they're looking for a portable version that they can have at home to help offset some of the expenses, but just to have the technology available at their disposal whenever they want it. So customers that have gone to sports therapy. As an added bonus, a lot of the purchases that we've seen are actually covered by health insurance. This is really important to note. Second core group of customers are elite level athletes looking for the next strength edge. Interesting to note here is, you know, whether you're an amateur or elite level athlete or just someone that trains on a regular basis, I could hook the Compex unit up to you, any of the units, and within seconds I could tell you where your muscle imbalances are. Now, this is very important for anyone that wants to improve their power and their endurance. Because as I'm sure you can appreciate, any imbalance will not lead to you reaching your full potential. And now all of us have strength imbalances. The problem is with traditional strength training is that it's very hard to correct those imbalances. We always tend to favor, one leg or one arm. Compex allows us to focus just on a specific muscle group and get it back up to the same level as the comparable muscle group. The retail cost on the units ranges from a few $100s all the way up to $1,400 for our top-of-the-line unit right here. The main differences are the number of available programs. For example, whether you want to focus on, say, toning your muscles versus actually strength building them. And also whether the unit is wired, like this guy here, or wireless, which is the top-of-the-line unit. One of the interesting advantages of the wireless is that you can actually use it while you're working out. So for example, you're in a gym, you're doing squats, you have a heavy weight on your shoulders. You can pair that workout with having these on your quadricep muscles to initiate a contraction at the same time as you're lifting a weight and voluntarily contracting your muscles. The advantage there is that you could actually simulate having a heavier weight than what you actually have on your shoulders, which makes for a safer, more efficient workout because you're getting a more full contraction of the muscles. The higher up the line you go, a lot of the units include a cable or a function within the pods called muscle intelligence, and this gives the unit the ability to scan the muscle surface and to find the best way to stimulate a contraction. What you're going to get a lot of customers that aren't in the know kind of joke about is that this sounds very similar to those late night infomercials for other similar products. The key difference between those and the Compex unit is that those units do not have the muscle intelligence feature. So what that product is assuming is that all muscles are the same. And this is not the case. Every muscle, you can feel on your body, you would know this, has a different level of resistance. And that resistance is caused by your skin, muscle, fat, water, all these different things that create barriers to entry into the muscle fiber, okay? So not all muscles are equal, and this is why the muscle intelligence feature is optimal, because it tells the unit the best way to get into the muscle body and to stimulate a contraction. If you don't initiate that, the pulse might not get all the way into the muscle. It might actually start to scatter across your skin, which is quite common with the cheaper units. The feeling that you'll get is kind of an itchy sensation around the area. It's the pulse scattering across your skin. Bringing this back around to sales, I'll be upfront that this is, for most of our retailers, a special order item. The goal here is not for you to go out and buy a bunch of Compex units and have them collect dust on your shelf. No, the point here is to give you a bit of education, get you more informed for when and if those questions do come your way. As far as sales go, I think there's two routes that we'll look at this. You can either pass the requests on to us or have us deal with the majority of the education and setup, which is totally fine, and we'd be more than happy to set the store up with a commission for those referrals. Secondly, we could look at doing a wholesale purchase for your store, and this would be for stores that want to purchase multiple units or really want to take the charge with learning how to use Compex and what it's all about, and those stores do exist also. So a couple routes, a couple options to look at. I know that this is going to initiate a lot of questions, and by all means, this was meant as a conversation starter. So I look forward to your questions on the forum, Retail Ambassadors, and we will see you at the next stop on the Hammer Nutrition Big Rig Tour. Cheers. See ya.